Hey, so it's Brody, and I'm doing the oral presentation of the final wellness reflection. So I don't want to linger on this too much. I just wanted to get right into this because this is an important aspect and it is the final of this whole semester. So, getting in. So, I want to go step by step so that it's all super simple, super easy, super organized, I guess you could say. And so, I'm just going to go list by list. I'm sorry if that sounds boring, it's just easiest for me. So, first is the topic. So, personal philosophy. Define your personal philosophy regarding lifelong wellness. So, I wanted to get into this a little bit. I know we talked about it in the past, but I wanted to get into it a little bit more because I wanted to make sure that we all understood what personal philosophy was. I wanted to double check that I knew exactly what it was. So, getting into it, so a personal philosophy is a set of guiding principles that we live by. It influences everything from the words you say to the steps you take, even the items that you will and will not purchase at the store. And individuals conceptualize philosophies in many ways, and that's by complete2create.net. So pretty much what this is going over, all it's going over is that everyone else has different philosophies based on what they believe and what they want to live by. So it's guiding principles. So for example, like in Japan, it is considered rude or a bad principle to tip a waiter if you liked the food. Well, in here in America, it's almost a standard to tip a waiter for their service. Even if it's bad, you give them a small tip, but you still give a tip. But in Japan, that's considered completely rude. And that's how their culture lives by. That's how they live by. That's how their philosophy lives by. And this is how ours lives by. These are our principles, theirs are theirs. So no one's is the same. No one's will ever be the same. I can't guarantee that. Most likely that no one's will be the same. Everyone's will be different. You'll believe different things than I do. I believe different things than you do. But that doesn't matter. It's how we take it that matters. So now we're going to go into beliefs and behaviors, which kind of intertwines with it a little bit. So describing careful thought, how your behaviors and beliefs have changed and influenced your lifelong wellness from the beginning of the course to today. So getting into that a little bit is I believe my beliefs mainly have not changed. Why do I believe this? Because I believe that my philosophies growing up as a kid, because my parents, how they taught me, was a little bit of an older way. They taught me how most of the older generation, like theirs, was raised and how they were perceived in life. And the way that was is that to be nice, to just be respectful. Like you shouldn't be rude to anyone ever, even if that you have a reason to be. It's still better to be polite than anything in the world. And I live by that every single day because I believe that if you aren't nice one day, or for a large section of your life even, it's gonna come back and it's gonna hit you hard and it's not gonna be great. So I live by the philosophy that it's really good to be courteous and kind to others because it may come back on you one day and when you need it. And I believe that being nice will spread and it will come back around eventually, especially when you need it. And two concrete examples from activities and journals for beliefs is I believe it's to be kind, and that's part of the spiritual wellness where you set some acts of kindness. And those acts that I did are what I do every single day. I'm always kind and courteous to always kind and courteous to everyone that I possibly can be. But I still did improve on that for it was assignment, and I also kind of wanted to do it out of my own sake. So going on, so there's behaviors. So my behaviors did change quite a bit. I believe they changed with my relationship with my friends, family, and spouse have changed a little bit. I now am talking to my mom a little bit more. I talk to my sister now instead of avoiding her from past events. I don't think there was anything bad with my spouse, but I did improve the relationship regardless because it's good to have a good relationship that's strong and good than a unstable one that could fall down. Not saying that I did, I'm just saying it could. And I'd rather have a better one than a worse one, if you know what I'm saying. So, going down a little bit more is dimensions of wellness. So, we want to reflect the dimensions of wellness and summarize what we learned from them. So, going over to the dimensions to actually look at them is first physical wellness. So I believe this one impacted me a lot. I feel like I saw a lot of growth from this one. I worked my butt off every single day to improve on my body and how I was living physically because it was so influential on on my part of my life. I was a little bit lazy. I didn't really take care of myself and I didn't work out at all. And I started to work out. I worked out 2 or 3 hours a day every single day, and I've been doing that. I've been keeping that up ever since I believe September 12th actually is when we started it, and I've been working on that every single day, and I've been grinding that. I'm still doing it to this day, and I feel like I've seen a lot of growth from that. I've been able to do so many more things. I've been able to actually breathe. I've been able to take care of my lungs and my heart rate. Like, they were all out of whack. They still are a little bit because of problems mutationally, but they've gotten so much better already, and my life overall over that has improved quite significantly. So moving on, we go into emotional wellness. So emotional wellness was with the relationships. So I believe that I did influence a lot on that. I don't really want to get into this that deep because I already did a little bit in the past, especially in earlier in this presentation. It did change quite a bit, but I don't think it changed bad at all. I think it only got better, and I'm going to plan on keeping a stable relationship, and it's going to be really good for me. It's going to be good for them, and it's going to just influence us all in a positive way. So moving down, we're going to go to an intellectual wellness. So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier with my friend's opinions. So, like in strategic battle games that we play together, I don't know if you've heard of this, but for example, Apex or Call of Duty Cold War that just came out. So what we did on that is I used to ignore everything they said, and I thought I was right. I thought I was perfect. We were on point. Sometimes, yes, it was true, but other times it wasn't. And they were actually right, but I didn't listen to them regardless. I didn't care. I wanted me to be correct, and I wanted us to do my plan because I saw it fit. Now, I'm not saying that I did it in a rude way. I'm just saying that's overall what kind of happened. And I've worked on this. I now listen to everything that they say. I take it into consideration. I run some calculations in my head to see if it'll work. And if it does, sweet, we're going with it. If it doesn't, then I'll suggest something else. If they proceed with it, I go along with it anyway. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. It doesn't matter. And that kind of goes on with real life as well. With, I don't know, maybe we should go to the store and get some drinks. Oh yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea. See, that very simple, very, very simple, huge impact on your relationships with your friends. Moving on, we're going to go to social wellness. So, social wellness was a really, really fun section of wellness for me because I actually joined a volunteer group. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but Planet Doom opened and I joined them. Volunteer work. You volunteer to scare people for 4 hours a day, and that is absolutely amazing. I love scaring people, it's so fun. And being able to do that in a community where it's not bad, being able to do that in a place where you don't get judged for anything, you can make friends. I made so many friends during my time there. I did so much. It was so helpful for me. I'm actually able to talk to people. I don't get out a lot, so that's my only chance to really get out and see the world and actually communicate with other people. And I feel like that helped me a lot. I was actually able to make some friends, which is kind of rare for me. Um, Going down, we're gonna go into financial wellness. So financial wellness was not really a big section for me, but I feel like it still was influential. So, I did get a job with my sister along with the volunteer work, and ever since I got my first check, I have been consistent on putting half of it into my savings account instead of my checkings. So what that a savings account is pretty much money where you can't spend it. You can take it out of it, but you really can't spend it from that account. So you have to take it out actually and put it in the checkings or in physical form. And checkings is for you to spend and what you can consume. And I put half of it in savings so that I didn't spend it so I could save up if anything bad happened, if I ever needed anything, I could save up for it. I'm actually saving up for my car at the moment and I've been saving half of every check to save up and get to that point. Going down to spiritual wellness, I talked about this a little bit, and honestly, it's just good to be kind, guys. Like, it's super easy. Just even writing a note to somebody saying that I hope that you have a good day on a paper note and handing it to them, or sticking it in their car window. Like, it's simple, tiny things that literally take 3 minutes and it changes someone's complete attitude for an entire day. It makes them so much happier. It makes you so much happier. You feel better because you did something good. They feel better because they feel that they're involved with something, and they are. I mean, it's not like they aren't. They are involved with something, and that they are special no matter what. No matter what happened, no matter what is, people do care. I just want to say that. And moving down to environmental wellness. So environmental wellness was a big section for me. I actually took everything out of my room and I rearranged it completely. My room is completely clean, it's completely organized. My schoolwork is completely organized. I'm actually getting stuff on time, due and in before or on the day of. And I've actually just been really good on that. I've been keeping up on that. I've been pushing it to the limits, trying to keep everything organized for school. And honestly, I feel like I've done really well in this. I would say it is my most productive section of wellness for me to elaborate on. And I feel like I did do the most amount of work in this one because it was so hard to punch in everything in such a small amount of time. Even though I had the time before, procrastination kicked in, and now I don't procrastinate anymore because I actually get my stuff done, I have it organized, and I can environmentally succeed in my life. So, we went over the dimensions of wellness. So, next is the philosophy change. So, I don't believe my philosophy changed a lot. I believe it did change, but not quite a bit. So, pretty much, I think that I live by a more respectful life because now I am going to actually interpret others' opinions as a viable option instead of ignoring them and choosing my own over them. And I feel like I'm just going to be more polite, especially in my relationships with others. I'm just going to actually listen a little bit better and take into consideration that I may be wrong, others may be correct. And that is the case. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. It just depends. It's okay rolling the dice, getting some wrong every once in a while, but as long as you keep a steady, safe, and healthy balance, it doesn't really matter what happens. So I'm going to move on to the future. So the future. Now the semester is at an end. What is your next step? Will you continue the changes that you started for the future? And so yes, I will continue. I'm going to continue saving half of my checks for financial wellness. I'm going to continue working at that scare house so I can become friends with more people and interact with human beings a lot more often. I am going to listen to others' opinions better, and interpret them as viable options because it is polite, even. I'm also going to keep doing random acts of kindness because I think that was so fun to do things that literally took 3 minutes make someone's day completely different. That was so much fun, and it makes me feel better. It makes them feel better. I don't see a really bad part in doing that. It doesn't take anything out of your day. Physical wellness, I'm going to keep working out. I'm going to keep pushing my body a little bit more so I can actually be healthier. Maybe even go a little bit farther and get more athletic. Try to be a little bit healthier. Try to do some sports, maybe possibly in the future, and just overall be a better person for that. And honestly, I'm just gonna work on gonna keep my relationships nice and strong. Gonna keep those nice and safe for that social wellness or no I believe it was intellectual wellness a little bit, but it was emotional wellness that it mainly kicked into. So I'm going to keep working on that. I'm going to keep pushing that one so that I can actually have a steady relationships. They're not, I don't plan on them going down soon at all. They're perfect where they are, and I plan on keeping them there and keeping them to the best where I can keep them. So overall, I believe a lot happened over this trimester, and I believe it actually influenced me as a person. I'm not just saying this for this assignment. I believe it actually took me in. It made me a better person. It helped me overall in life, and I think this was just absolutely amazing that I was able to take this course and actually learn from this. It was so helpful for me in the long run, and it helped me so much overall. And I'm just so happy that I was able to take it with you guys, and I'm so grateful that I'm here today doing this for you. All right, that's it for now. Signing off.